In 1958, the United States Air Force Ballistic Missile Division attempted to launch the first spacecraft beyond Earth's orbit. The spacecraft, Pioneer 0, was designed to go into orbit around the Moon and carry out scientific experiments as part of the International Geophysical Year (IGY) science payload. The spacecraft was designed to carry a television camera, a micrometeorite detector, and a magnetometer. It was intended to be called Pioneer or Pioneer 1, but unfortunately, the launch failed, and the probe was destroyed shortly after takeoff. The spacecraft was cylindrical in shape and was made up of a thin midsection and two truncated cone frustums on each side. The cylinder was 74 cm in diameter, and the height from the top of one cone to the top of the opposite cone was 76 cm. The spacecraft was spin-stabilized at 18 revolutions per second, with the spin direction approximately perpendicular to the geomagnetic meridian planes of the trajectory. The scientific instrument package weighed 113 kg and consisted of an image-scanning infrared television system, a diaphragm, microphone assembly to detect micrometeorites, and a search coil magnetometer to measure the Earth's, Moon's, and interplanetary magnetic fields. The spacecraft was powered by nickel-cadmium batteries for ignition of the rockets, silver cell batteries for the television system, and mercury batteries for the remaining circuits. Radio transmission was on 10,806 MHz, a standard frequency used by satellites in the International Geophysical Year, through an electric dipole antenna for telemetry and Doppler information and a magnetic dipole antenna for the television system. Pioneer 0 was launched on Thor missile number 127 at 12:18 GMT on 17 August 1958, only 4 minutes after the scheduled launch time. However, the rocket failed shortly after launch and was destroyed by an explosion of the first stage of the Thor booster, 736 seconds after liftoff at 152 km altitude and 16 km downrange over the Atlantic Ocean. The failure was suspected to be due to a turbopump bearing that came loose, causing the liquid oxygen pump to stop. The abrupt loss of thrust caused the Thor to lose attitude control and pitch downward, which caused the LOX tank to rupture from aerodynamic loads and resulting in complete destruction of the launch vehicle. Erratic telemetry signals were received from the payload and upper stages for 123 seconds after the explosion, and the upper stages were tracked to impact in the ocean. The original plan was for the spacecraft to travel for 26 days to the Moon, at which time a Texas 8-6 solid propellant motor would fire to put it into a 29,000 km orbit. Although Pioneer 0 was a failure, it paved the way for future space exploration and helped scientists gain valuable insights into the challenges and risks of space travel. Today, we continue to explore the final frontier, and Pioneer 0 remains an important milestone in the history of space exploration.